One.
Great. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public session of the Audit Committee of the Durham District School Board. I'd like to call to the meeting to order to start and start with a land acknowledgement this evening. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Mississauga peoples, and the treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, learn, and live. So with that, I would like to invite David to make introduction of our new member, please. And you are on mute, David.
It's been a long day. Sorry. Thanks very much, Leslie. And it is a great pleasure to introduce Jawad Aslam, who is joining us this evening for his first meeting as our newest member of the Audit Committee. We were very lucky to have an excellent group of qualified candidates who expressed interest in the position. And certainly very pleased and thankful that Jawad expressed interest and pleased that he is the candidate, not only very qualified, but also a resident and of Durham region and a parent of students in our system. So has a vested interest and just really happy to have him join. So welcome, Jawad.
Thank you very much. Thank you, David.
Anything that you'd like to, do you want to do a quick self-introduction or?
So myself, as David mentioned to me that I've been in this region for the last 3 years now. I moved here from the Peel region, and currently I'm working in a multinational, which is called OpenText, as a cloud content management company. I look after their operational audit department, and my primary role is to manage audit plans for, and also helping my company on the other side of the table, which is like presenting to the audit committee. So it will be a great experience for me now to coming on the other side and have this experience as well. And happy to assist you guys in whichever capacity I can with the experience which I have attained over the period of 10 to 12 years. And in the professional capacity, I'm a professional CPA as well, and I have some certification on internal audits and system audits as well. So that's pretty much about myself. And so I started my career as an external auditor from PwC. So I have an experience with working with the external audit consulting firm there as well, and working in the industry as well. So happy to assist you guys in the best possible way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And sorry if I might, Madam Chair, just quickly again, extend thanks and gratitude to Olafunke Majebi, who's not joining us this evening, but did finish up her 3-year term as a member of the Audit Committee, and we appreciated her contributions. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, David, for those comments, and welcome, Jawad. It's nice to have you on the committee. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good stuff. I'll move through the agenda. Call for any declarations of conflict of interest. And seeing none, I'll move towards the approval of the agenda. And I'll start by actually proposing an edit to the agenda myself. I think, and perhaps David can help to elaborate. We believe there's an opportunity to talk about the term of the role of the chair for this committee and to clarify some of the specifics around that as part of the agenda discussion this evening. So if everyone is okay, we will add that before other business as item, I guess, 7.1 or in between 7 and 8 on the agenda this evening. All okay? Excellent. Thank you for that. And Now I'll move to approval of the November 2023 Audit Committee public meeting minutes, and looking for someone to move on that. Michelle, thank you. And a second? Can I second? Yep. And do we need all in favor or so moved? All good? Okay. So the agenda is approved, and then moving on to the first item on our agenda this evening, which is the annual agenda plan, and I will call on David to introduce that topic to us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this is included on page 3 of your package, and this annual agenda plan is a bit of an amalgam of the ministry stated expectations for the work of the audit committee based on legislation and our historical practice. So the audit committee legislation requires the audit committee to have a minimum 3 meetings a year. We've broken up the work of the committee over 4 meetings during the year. And so this is the historical workflow, and is really a recommendation and just sort of a guideline for in terms of expectations of the work of the committee over the course of the year. And so that's included for your information and consideration. As things arise, of course, during the year, we can add or amend what's included in this list, but this is just a sort of a broad overall work plan for the year.
Great. Thank you. Are there any questions related to the agenda item or the information shared? I have one question just for a clarification on it, if I may. I'm seeing no other hands. Unless I'm missing, please point out if I'm missing. Just to clarify, the March agenda plan, it talks about a recommendation of the board of appointment of an external auditor for the next fiscal year as needed. Is that appointment needing to be confirmed or reviewed annually, or is that on a 3-year cycle? I just want to clarify that point.
It is on a cycle, and so we did tender the year before last. So we are moving into year 3 now with our auditor, and I don't recall if it was a 3-year appointment or a 5-year appointment. Not sure if Melissa or Jennifer, you recall the term, but it would have been minimum 3 years. And so we'll review the term and reflect on maybe having a conversation June or early next year about satisfaction with the performance of the external auditor, et cetera, and how we move forward with that.
Great, thank you. So thank you for clarifying that. Seeing no other comments or questions, we'll take that report as received and move on to our added agenda item, which is discussion around the position of chair and term of chair. And over to you, David, to assist us with that discussion.
You bet. I appreciate you adding that to the agenda. And it's a nice segue, actually. The work plan, upon reflection of the work plan, it does indicate election of the chair as required. And I apologize, it didn't really click in until very recently that when we did elect the chair last year, we didn't really discuss a term limit or a time limit for the chair. Historically, when Regulation 361.10 was first enacted, it was trustee members of the audit committee who were eligible to be the chair. A number of years ago, that legislation was changed to allow any member of the audit committee to become chair. But the term of the trustees on the audit committee were 1 year at a time. 2 years ago, I believe 2 years ago, perhaps just 2 years ago, I believe, the DDSB appointment process changed for members of the audit committee to extend their term to 2 years to try and ensure a little bit of continuity, because there is certainly a learning curve when you come onto the audit committee. All that to say, I don't know that 1 year is appropriate for the term of chair of the audit committee. It may be 2. It may be one. It is up to the members of the committee, and so I thought, given the timing and the work plan, maybe it makes sense that members of the audit committee have a conversation about what they'd like to see for term of chair going forward.
Thank you for that, David. Committee members, are there any perspectives to share on the topic?
Maybe just a question from me. It's Stephen.
Yes. Hi, Stephen.
Hi. So as per, I guess the timing, because it's for the trustees, it's a 2-year term. I'm wondering, does the timing align so the chair and the trustee term is kind of all in sync? So it would be 2 years for the trustee, potentially 2 years for the chair. And then at the end of that 2-year tenure, then looking at, it's almost like a complete refresh or continuing. So maybe my question is, how does the timing align between when the trustees are brought on board and then when we're electing a chair?
So if I may, Madam Chair, so the trustee elections are now in November, and they take effect middle of November. And the audit meeting schedule, you can see there's a meeting in September, November, March, and June. I don't know that the timing would always align. The November meeting would always align with the election of the new board of trustees, or with the appointment of trustees to committees, or election of trustees to committees. So a really great question, Trustee Linton. I don't know if the November meeting would align better, or we would miss the November meeting. I'd have to take a look at the historical calendar. So it's either this meeting or the November meeting would align best. I'm not sure which one. I have a sense that because this business is maintained in this record in the March meeting, that it probably falls here better. But certainly we can confirm that in terms of historic dates.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that to be clarified, is it possible to suggest an annual confirmation of the chair position with a 2-year term recommendation as a preferred, so that we have flexibility but an intention to try to have some continuity and but opportunity to review? And I see Jeff has his hand up. Perhaps can add some context.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe there is some language in Regulation 36110 that governs when and for how long the chair of the committee should be appointed. So I just didn't want anybody to proceed with anything that may be in contravention of that specific piece. If you want me to expand upon that, essentially it's the requirement is that at the first meeting of the fiscal year, the chair is chosen for a term of 1 year. There's nothing that says that the chair can't be reappointed, I don't believe, but has to at least be confirmed in an election, so it has to be held annually.
Perfect.
And it says the term is 1 year. So
okay,
just keep that in mind. I didn't want anybody to approve anything that was going to put us in a position where we might be in contravention of that. So sorry about that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification on that. So that being the case, I don't know that we have an individual decision to take on it. We have clarity that it's a 1-year appointment, and out of continuity, there may be opportunity naturally for an existing member to continue in that term if it so meets the committee's desire. So, is that all aligned with that on a discussion? Any other points to discuss? Great.
Sorry, Madam Chair, then, if I may, given
Yes.
that this is the first meeting of the Audit Committee in this calendar year, might I suggest that the members of the committee this evening either confirm reappointment or hold an election for the chair for the coming year, just to ensure that we are in alignment with legislation, and with thanks to Jeff for pointing that out. That's helpful.
Yes.
David, if I might, I was just looking at the reg, and it's the fiscal year, so that would be starting in September.
Yeah. I wondered that as
rather than calendar year.
Okay. Thank you for that further clarification. So we will add that to the agenda for the September meeting to confirm the position of chair. Terrific. Thank you all for that good discussion and clarification on the topic. With that, I'll move on and see if there's any other business to call forward at this time. And seeing none, I'm going to move to call that our next meeting will be June 19th, 2024. So we will reconvene again this committee of the public session in June, and I will call to adjournment of the session. Thank you all.